Once upon a time, in a small village, there lived an old lady. She was always happy and kind. People in the village loved her because she was wise and always ready to help. One day, a young man came to her and asked, "Why are you always happy? Don't bad things ever happen to you?" The old lady smiled and said, "My dear, life is full of good and bad days. Sometimes things go wrong and sometimes things go right. But I learned that happiness comes from inside, not from what happens around me." The young man was confused. "What do you mean?" he asked. "How can you be happy when bad things happen?" The old lady began to tell him a story from her own life. "When I was young, I had a family, a husband, and children. We were not rich, but we were happy. Then one day my husband became very sick. We didn't have enough money for medicine, and we couldn't save him. He passed away. It was the saddest day of my life, and I thought I would never be happy again. I cried for a long time." She paused and looked at the young man. "But after some time, I realized that being sad all the time wouldn't bring my husband back. My children still needed me, and I needed to find a way to be happy again. So I decided to look at life differently." The old lady continued, "I knew that life will always have both good and bad moments. But I decided that no matter what happened, I wouldn't let the bad moments steal my happiness." The young man was surprised and asked, "But how did you do that?" The old lady smiled and said, "Every morning, I tell myself, today is a new day. I will find something to be happy about. Sometimes it's hard, but I always find something. Maybe the sun is shining. Maybe I see a flower, or maybe I talk to a friend. I remind myself that happiness is a choice." She looked at the young man and said, "Life will always have challenges. But when bad things happen, I remind myself this too will pass. I focus on the good things I have, like my health, my friends, and my family. Happiness is not about what happens around me, but how I choose to see the world." The young man thought for a moment. He thanked the old lady for her wise words and decided to try what she had said. From that day on, he tried to find something good in every situation. Soon he realized that life became better. Even when things went wrong, he stayed positive and found happiness in small things. The old lady's story spread throughout the village. More and more people started to understand that happiness is not about what you have or what happens to you, but about how you see life. And so the village became a happier place, all thanks to the wise old lady who taught everyone the secret of true happiness.